Hi there. So you've got yourself a fish tank, or you're thinking about getting some, and the one thing that keeps you is what do you do if you have to go away? Somebody needs to look after the little critters, but you're not happy to have someone in your home when you're not around. So what can we do about that? In this video, I tell you about my approach to hopefully get the fish to survive a 4-week absence of mine. This is going to be part 1. In part 2 of the video, when I come back, I will then talk about what actually happened. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel not to miss it when the new video comes up, and I hope you get some value out of this one. So let's go. Yes, we all sometimes need to go away for maybe a few days or a few weeks at a time, be it for leisure or business. This might keep us from having pets or require us to find somebody to look after them while we're away. Luckily, with our aquarium, there's a lot we can do to ensure our fish will be okay while we're gone. Let's look at this in a bit more detail. Our starting point is that the aquarium is a well-established planted tank. Your water change regime is settled, and you know from measuring your water parameters, in particular nitrate, how long you can let it run without this getting into dangerous territory. The first distinction to make then is about how long we are going to be away. In most cases, if it's just a few days, maybe up to a week, the good news is your fish will be fine. There's a few do's and don'ts to consider though in this scenario. Don't overfeed in the days leading up to your absence. That just increases the potential for food waste, resulting in a nitrate buildup that you won't be there to manage. Do a water change and a filter clean before you leave. Don't worry about auto-feeding or using one of those slowly dissolving food tablets you can buy. Fish will be able to look after themselves for a few days. Aquarium fish are completely spoiled for when it comes to food availability compared to what they would have available in the wild. A well-established planted tank provides enough biofilm and microorganisms to give them something to nibble on and be on a bit of a diet. Do make sure your pump is in good shape. Clean the impeller and grease it with a special silicone regularly, like I show here. Things get more interesting if you're going away for a longer period. In my current case, this will be about a month. So let's look at how I prepare my tanks, big and small, to see them through that period. I've planned for this for about 3 months and ensure I kept up with my water changes and filter cleaning regime, aiming at the day before departure to complete a big clean cycle. This has been my schedule across 5 tanks. What you can do in the lead up to the period you're going to be away is to test extending the maintenance periods, that is water change and filter clean, to see how the tank reacts while you're still there. It'll inform what you need to do to keep things safe over the period, and it may just optimize your maintenance regime to what's necessary rather than a calendar-driven arbitrary frequency. In the lead up to the period of absence, keep plant growth tidy. For final maintenance, make sure no plant will overgrow filter inlets or the surface where the food will enter the tank. Remove any leaves that look as if they're on the way out, but don't radically cut back the plants. You want them to help soak up nitrate that will build up. On the day, or within 2 days of departure, do a larger water change and a filter clean. Add Sechem Purigen or something similar to the filter. Purigen is a synthetic filter media that removes organic waste and improves water clarity. As the blurb goes, it removes ammonia, nitrites and nitrates by absorbing nitrogenous organic waste, thus reducing pollution and raising the redox potential in the tank. It says on the box. This stuff exhausts after a while, but in my experience, it should be good for 4 weeks at least. If you don't already, have a reliable timer on your lighting. You want to make sure your plants keep growing while you're away, because they help keeping the nitrate at bay. Use indoor plants such as these pothos here to further help manage nitrate. I planted these in each of my tanks and look how they thrive. I equip each tank with these kinds of automatic feeders. Depending on your size tank and animal, you could try something a bit more fancy such as this one here, but in my case I find even the setting dispensing the smallest amount of food in this one is way too much. For the feeders I use, I control the amount not just through this slider here, but also by taping over the opening to further minimize the amount of food dispensed. I tested this in the following way until I ended up with a similar amount, maybe a little less, compared to what I normally feed. Ensure the feeders have fresh batteries and are secure in their position over the opening in your tank's lid. Not much that can be done about the heater. If it's been doing its thing for a few years already, maybe you'd be on the safe side to install a new one. Not right before you leave, but a couple of months prior. Like with anything electric, if it breaks, it's likely shortly after beginning use, or once it reaches a good old age. If you're worried about the power going out, here in Australia a fairly regular occurrence unfortunately, maybe consider putting your tank pump and light on a portable power station sitting between your mains and the tank, like this one here. If you're in the lucky position to run solar panels and battery, you at least don't have to worry about that. I use a dosing pump to provide fertilizer and promote growth and control algae using Flourish Excel. For the period of absence, I will program the dosing pump to also inject water conditioner, the one you would use to make the tap water safe for the latter half of the 4-week period. This will neutralize any buildup of nitrates and nitrites, or so I hope. So, with all this preparation in place, I feel I've done enough to make sure that the fish and the other animals are safe while I'm away. I'm still thinking about setting up a camera to watch what's going on while I'm away, but I'm in two minds. If something goes wrong, what am I going to do? Hop on a plane and come back? Not likely, so I don't know. But that's just the name of the game. There's a certain risk involved as with everything, but preparation so far has been good, and I'm pretty confident with my trial runs with feeders and the longer water changes, longer frequency of water changes. All of that should work out in the end. I'll tell you in the next video. So like and subscribe if you got value out of this one and don't want to miss when I come back from my break to see what actually happened. See you then.